Colonel Crazies.
And welcome to the first installment of Colonel TV.
For some of our segments today, we will have
lunch,
birthdays,
and activities.
with an exclusive interview with Dr. Childs.
Colonel TV starts right now.
Hope brought your appetite. Today's lunch is hot dog on a bun, Mr. Rib, with a side of baked beans and peaches. And tomorrow is everybody's favorite, Taco Tuesday, with walking tacos, nacho tots, and a side of mixed fruit and broccoli.
Today's birthdays are Jasmine Larson Bomer, Cole Siebert, Quincy Young, and tomorrow's birthday is Jaden Fitzpatrick.
Over the weekend, we had a bunch of very exciting events. We had gymnastics state in Brookings at the Swift Health Center. We had debate in Harrisburg, and we also had boys basketball at Harrisburg. And show choir traveled all the way down to Urbandale to compete this weekend. We have no events today and tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Mitch Schwadweiler here with an exclusive interview with Dr. Joe Childs, our principal at Mitchell High School, who has been nominated or selected as the Principal of the Year of South Dakota. First, I just want to ask you, how long have you been a principal?
Well, Mitch, before I get to answering that question, I just want to thank you again for having me on this episode.
Yeah.
So I've heard a great deal about you, and I know that you're just a fantastic student.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the premier cheerleaders in the state of South Dakota.
Yes.
So they call it the Schwadweiler effect, I think, when the crowd just goes absolutely bananas.
That is what
so
I've heard.
it's really my pleasure to be here today. So one of the things that you just started off was asking me about my excitement to be nominated for this award. So it's very humbling and flattering to be nominated for an award like this. I view my position as an administrator of one that just tries to remove barriers for the people who do the real work, like Mr. Sand in your classroom, for example. I know that he's doing the real work, so if I can ever do something to make his job a little easier, provide him with the information and the materials and supplies that he needs to get the job done, I really view that as my number one objective. So I'm very excited to represent South Dakota, but on a grander scale of what it's going to change for me, not a whole heck of a lot. I'll continue to do the best I can for Mitchell students and Mitchell High School teachers.
Yeah. Okay, so could you just go through the process of of how you got nominated for this award?
You bet. So there are regions in the state of South Dakota. There are 7 regions, and so they call them the regional principal groups. And so of those 7, each of them will pick a high school principal to represent that region. So I was the nominee for Region 3 Principal of the Year. That basically then moves on to a state level, and so the state secondary board selects somebody to represent the state as the Principal of the Year, their nomination, and so they'll go through applications and select who they think would be, I suppose, the best representation for that group, and so they'll base that off of career accolades and accomplishments and longevity in the program, whether or not they've proven to have the skills to pay the bills, and their involvement, I guess, in just state and federal legislation and activities and so on and so forth. So that's basically the nomination process.
Yeah. And it also said in the Daily Republic that you will be going to Washington, D.C. to represent the state of South Dakota. Are you looking forward to that, or?
I really enjoy Washington, D.C. I've been there a number of times in an advocacy participation and speaking to Congress and Senate members and doing what I can for South Dakota education. We talk about funding and we talk about federal programs like special education and such. And so to go back there it's a great opportunity, and I really enjoy it. It's nice to collaborate with colleagues from across the country, and so I very much look forward to this event as well. There's nothing better than being in one of the nicest places in the United States and being with like-minded people when you're doing it. So very much looking forward to the opportunity to be there again.
Yep. Okay, Joe Childs, Dr. Joe Childs now, Principal of Mitchell High School, and also the Principal of the Year of South Dakota. A very deserving man. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay.
This has been your first installment of Colonel TV.
Shout outs to the man, the myth, the legend, the Kia cowboy, Riley Zabo.
And shout out to Mr. Sand.
Until next time,
Stay
stay
tropical.
tropical.